The movements discussed in Networks of Outrage and Hope by Castells are the Indignatus, Occupy Wall Street, the Arab Spring, and Iceland's kitchenware revolutions. These movements were sparked because of emotions that were stirred up, such as fear, anger, and upset. They were all longing for hope, so they started a revolution. All these movements were protests that happened because they set up camps and occupied public spaces. These movements all used Tumblr. They all used some form of social media as well. The revolutions were spread throughout Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. You could see videos going viral from these movements and Tumblr blogs about how people were feeling about Occupy Wall Street. The Arab Revolution started because Mohammed Bouazizi lit himself on fire and others were following his lead to prove a point. This revolution started from images on the internet and because of the success of the Tunisian and Egyptian revolutions. The Indognatus movement was inspired because of the unemployment rates rising in Spain. The country ignored the crisis for a long time, and now it was time to do something about it. Occupy Wall Street began in America because of a severe economic collapse. This movement was encouraged by Tahrir Square in Spain. It was because of people's determination that they could bring down dictatorships at any cost. The last revolution, Iceland's kitchenware revolution, happened because of a financial crisis and many banks were failing. There were two other movements, the Hong Kong's Umbrella Movement and the Black Lives Matter movement. Hong Kong's Umbrella Movement was a protest from Hong Kong's youth and the social injustices within Hong Kong. The Black Lives Matter movement was sparked because of a Caucasian police officer killing a young African American man. One of the similarities that these movements both had were that they were able to get a mass of people involved with it. They were able to use social media in a way that got so many people involved because more and more people kept talking about it. Both of these movements are also similar in the brutality that was happening. Social movements happen because of a spark that people had and an idea that they wanted to change. Social movements happen with the media because it was a fast way to get the word out. What I mean by that is that these movements that are happening, we may not tell their difference until years later. For example, the Black Lives Matter movement is still an ongoing issue and it may not be resolved until years later. One major thing I learned in this course was the effects that social media can have. The way that people protest is because of their emotion and it gets sparked from other movements because of success. This is from other movements. I also learned that the way we protest needs to change somehow, but we are still trying to figure out social media campaigns. I learned that we need to just go for it and try and see if things will change. We need to change our perspective in how we do social media campaigns because doing a physical campaign as well is just as important. As we can see in most of these movements, that it started with social media, but people also took it to the streets and occupied the public space with camps as well.